I don't understand someone who believes the world is flat.
Same here. I really mpaka nimejitoa kwa hiyo position. I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to be dumb, wacha nijiweke kwa fence, just make me understand, because a guy like me deals with facts. You have to bring like evidence. And I try to tell them, please msieke religion into this, because you see, religion is belief. I never like talking about religion, because pia to me inakwanga personal. Awasi wote wa studio wanajuanga alarm ikienda off, I go and pray. Lakini until someone tells me, Naz, Islam and this, ndamwambia. But I will never go out of my way nikwambia, Mungu anakupenda nini na. You understand? Because to be honest, belief is something that you can't. It's very hard unless you're a professional. Kama wewe ni mtu umesoma theology, that's your side. Unaget, but me, I'm still trying to perfect something that is so beautiful to me. So siwezi articulate kwa msemo mwingine. So in the process, I'm like, let's put religion, just let's deal with, not even science, fine, NASA wamecompromise you, I accept it. Let's just deal with observation. Tell me why, if the earth, if the moon and the sun is the same size, wanasema, let me just give you the whole narrative, yeah? Because pia wao wako divided. The earth is flat. Wengine wanasema the earth is square. No problem, let's just go with both.
Let's just give a square tena.
And then the moon and the sun, same size, zina move like a yin yang. You know yin yang?
Yeah.
Zina move hivyo.
Okay.
And the sun does not set. And the stars, the asteroid, and everything, every astrological component moves around the earth. And all of it combined ina move juu.
Pali nita-agree na wao. Yes, everything in a move. Hapo tu. But it's in a move not because it's square. It's everyone is okay, not everyone. All planetary objects are usually on a journey. Sijuangi from where, but from the big bang kitu kayo. So zote ni kazi naendanga zikienda sijui wapi. But at the same time, I don't believe it's flat. Juu ya definitely proven things. Like kumekuwa na watu kwa space, wana observe kutoka chini. The earth is way too big kwa ile logic ya mbona ukiwa kwa ndege hauonangi the curvature. Like from the surface of the earth, hiyo ndege iko pali. It's not hata nikaa ijaenda in terms of spatial distance.
Because 100 space is 100 kilometers from earth. So ndege inaendanga at best 40,000 feet.
Yeah, that's approximately ni kama 2-3 kilometers.
Exactly.
4 kilometers.
So kuna hii ingine yenye hawezi observe the curvature.
Exactly. Alafu unaona hiyo 2 kilometers from earth, it's a very small distance kwa spatial distance to actually see the curvature kitu kayo. Tunawambia evidence tu rahisi ni enda tu Mombasa uone ship ikikuja. Mbona hauionangi kutoka pali imetoka? So unaona tu hiyo mast pole then ship inakuja ikitokea.
They say it's perspective. I think that's perspective, but because hata ukizuma camera, I have talked to people, because anytime nikiona there's a flood, I usually try and talk to professionals. I have a friend who's in the Navy. This is a guy mwenye anaendanga huko in the middle of the ocean, like anadisappear for 2 weeks and then anarudi. Ye mwenyewe ananiambia it's not about the camera, because the camera kuna focal points na nini, you might get kidogo. But if you take a binoculars, ama like a proper telescope, those one eye telescope ya kuangalia mbali, those one eye binoculars, not telescope, ile wanatumianga on those ships, you can see actually this is not, it's like curve. Unaget?
Kuna kitu tu hauoni huko mbele.
Exactly. So haya bado hiyo fine, tunaweza sema hatujai experience, because kuna vitu zingine maybe until niende hapo, but no problem, let's even assume that's perspective.
There's one question I was asked. Kama earth ni yo circular, why does River Nile flow ikienda juu? Sijaweza kujibu hiyo swali.
Yo, that's just your perspective.
Aliniuliza hivyo niko like, okay. Actually, they say it's only River Nile in the world that flows up. Like, kulingana na hii logic, inaflow ikirudi juu. But any tunajua inaenda, it's downstream, but kulingana na map inaenda from Lake Victoria to Mediterranean. Hapo yenye pia mimi niko like, interesting.
That's interesting. I'm going to look into that today.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, these guys, if you ask them, okay, sir, with this narrative of yours, this analogy of yours, explain to me how the eclipse happened. Explain to me why the sun appears bigger both in sunrise and in sunset. So umenotice, and it's actually an illusion. It's not that it appears bigger ama inakuja karibu. And I'll tell you how that happens. So ikikam kwa the flat earth narrative, wanasema sun haisetingi, inaenda ikiendanga. But kama inaenda ikiendanga, tunafaa kuona the sun ikiwa in its size. So you see how the sun is small at noon? Tunafaa tukiona ikienda inaenda ikiwa ndogo.
Ikiwa ndogo juu inaenda.
So the reason why it's bigger during the sunrise and sunset, it's the curvature actually. Unachikizi specs zako ukizifanya hivi. Do you know those things we used to do as kids to see if it's magnifying?
Yeah.
Nikiweka
hivi na
ukiziweka hivi
ukiona kichwa kadogo nini.
Exactly. So it's like that because the atmosphere iko na hiyo refraction capabilities. So there's a way the sun looks a bit bigger. Hata saa zingine even the moon looks a bit orangish ama nini. It's not that the moon is orange.
Yeah, true.
It's that kind of illusion ndo inaleta hapo. Ukiuliza hivyo wana dodge, they bring up the firmament. They bring up I don't know which verse of the Bible. Nakwambia anytime tu. Kwanza they've branded me. Nas amenaswa na NASA.
Oh wow, that's a rhyme actually.
That's very
creative. Kweli.
That's very creative coming from a flat earther, but however, ile content kuna zingine ulikuwa umesema you disagree with. Which one were they?
So hizo za flat earthers kuna I'm looking for kuna hii yenye wanasemanga pia sijui uko towards the end ka ni circular ama ni flat towards the end sijui kuna that wall of ice sijui imezunguka. Someone even said Adi sent a picture. Okay, hizo pictures too edited definitely. You see there's green grass, there's a river flowing, alafu there's a wall of ice. Like hii imefreeze, mbona maji ina flow? Si pia hiyo maji ingekuwa imefreeze na mbona hapa kuko green? Unajua ice inakuanga kwa desert. So hiyo ingekuwa green hainge exist. But yeah, so I disagree with hizo vitu etidunimezo. I mean, there's a ring of ice around it. Nobody has ever crossed it. So like, come on. Science, technology venye tumefika hapa, kweli kuna mtu anaweza kosa kupita hapo. Kaa tumefika kwa moon. Tumeenda telescope zetu zimepita Jupiter zinaendelea kuenda uko mbele. Surely wanaweza kosa ku look back and see how Earth looks like.
To be honest, history ya telescope, history ya moon landing, I don't believe in it, bro.
Oh, you also don't believe in the moon landing? You think it was staged?
I think it was. Because
why?
Okay, here's the thing. Russia wanna accomplish that orbital run. You get? And then the next day US wanasema, you know what, as tunaenda to the moon. And the first trial, bro, you hack it right, you make it right, like nani anaenda mpaka akona script. And observe the communication between the president na those spacemen. Like, bro, mimi na hata ukikuwa coast, WhatsApp iko na delay. They were talking in real time, bro. This is the moon we are talking about.
It's like
I'm just getting to it.
Kilometers from Earth.
Imagine. So the thing is, you're like, okay, fine, no problem. Let's even assume they went to the moon. How did they get out of the moon? What propulsion did they use kutoka out of the moon? Sawa haina gravity, but there's that kick.
Yeah.
Unahitaji ya kutoka out of the moon.
Oh my God, why have I never thought like that? Mi tunaaminingi walienda kwa moon wakaland, hata sijui walikuwa na land wafanye nini na wakarudi. And what if their spaceship had hizo mathrusters za kuwarudisha?
Go look at it. In fact, the moment, even saizi nashuku the fact that kuna satellites, naanza kutu kushuku because of the information imekam to my POV. There was this guy who was a scientist, alikuwa na work NASA. Every time ameingia TikTok amebaniwa. He's a Chinese guy. Anaambianga tu watu, go search how far a rocket can go upwards. Na utapata your answer. The farthest a rocket can go upwards ni mpaka hiyo past 100 kilometers from Earth. Pali at least watu wanaweza accomplish your weightlessness. Zaidi hapo, nothing. Because angalia even the basic, ukiangalia the physics of it, hizi rockets zinabeba fuel. So haziwezi beba as much fuel because bado hapo ita compromise the weight na kila kitu. So inaweza enda to up to a certain limit.
Now fuel also needs oxygen.
Exactly. So now let's even talk about hizo stories za voyage 1, voyage 2 yenye at least imepita. I don't believe in that thing, bro, because here's the thing.
Okay, for those, okay, with the same argument ya fuel na nini, for those I can't believe zinaweza zikakuwa zimeenda na zikapita. The reason being, they just need to get out of earth and continue with the journey. Zimekuwa solar, wherever they can charge themselves. Na ziende zikiendanga pali hadi zitapotelelea. But such kurudi, okay, I don't know if cars zinaweza rudi. Yeah, I'm just using your argument here. Kuland kwa moon, watahitaji another thrust ya kuwarudisha now back to earth. Anyway, that pia mimi nikifikiria, it doesn't make sense. There's no oxygen at the moon. Fuel needs oxygen to burn. Makes sense. But now here, satellites, I kind of believe that. It's easy to send something to go and go. Iendangi kiendanga tu.
No, okay, sawa. Ni sawa. Hapo nakubali pia mimi. However, hapa ndo pia mimi niko na tashwishi. How is the information being
transmitted back?
Kutoka moon ni mbali. But sawa, tuseme tu tumefika hapo. I might accept that. Pluto. Like, are you kidding me right now, bro? Come on. Pluto. That thing is far. Now, unafaa kuunderstand Voyager 1 ilitumwa sijui around 202 ama 2000. So there's that aspect of technological breakthrough pia. Your time.
Exactly. Yeah.
No problem. And the fact that imetoka tena, this information inatoka US, the same people who covered, who said they landed on the moon, but hawana technology saizi.
Yeah, that's why akuja kuwa na another moon landing ever since.
You get me?
Like, why?
You get me? And was it in 1968 ama? That's when they landed on the moon.
60 something, yeah. I'm not sure which, but it's 60 something.
Yeah, they landed on the moon.
Or 48, either the two.
And then the other thing kitu kuambiangi ni ile process of which ukiangalia hizo video vizuri, utaona their wires clipped on this spaceman. Like, you can clearly see these people are falling. Now utaona, if you have a good production eye, utajua, hey, there's something wrong with these guys.
Kuna watu walikuwa nasema it happened in a green screen hizo desert za uko to US. It was 1969.
Yeah, 69. So the thing is, it was just a public stunt yenye kuonesha Russia, by the way, we can also do
we
this.
Also mighty.
So pali a bit, and the fact that NASA ndo inapatianga hizi information, I'm like, I never trust a single source. Personally, I like looking at like 5, even 10 different sources. By the time nikuja niseme, okay, fine, this is my judgment. This is how I can think.
But also, how far can you go with a lie? As much as probably they never did the moon landing, but from 1969, bro, they've been lying up to right now.
Could have been. Because even like right now, whistleblowers wanatoka. Wanaanza kuwhistleblow, especially ule scientists anablokiwa saizi. Those scientists wanakuja wanasema, yo, moon landing haiko happen. Technically, we cannot leave Earth because from ile research nimefanya, the Earth's atmosphere, unajua inaweza stretch all the way to the exosphere, and the exosphere inago as far as where the moon is. So technically, tukisema the moon is within our atmosphere, atoko tumekosea.
Yeah.
So, na bado, again, hatuwezi fika huko. There's inaitwaje, that capability of a rocket of how high it can go before sasa the fuel kila kitu iisha, alafu tena ianze kudescend pole pole back to Earth. Unaona? So there is a lot of nisemaje, confusing informations, and then the scientists that are speaking out, because tumeona scientists speak about COVID wakisema their opinions, wengine wamekansoliwa, wengine wamefutwa job. Kuna sasa huyo nilikuwa nakuambia alikuwa anaitwa science busted. In fact, nilipatiwa a temporary ban because I was communicating back and forth. Nilikuwa naambia, nafaa kushikia live na you can come, and then when we were supposed kukuwa na live akabaniwa. Unaget? Because alikuwa nasema this thing is a lie. He used to be a scientist na amekuwa, it's like ako around 70 hivi, a Chinese man. Haya, ukiangalia story na climate change again, do you know, I grew up with climate change, bro. Kutoka sijui class 6 nikiambia, yo, this is what's happening with the climate, and I came to know, yo, that's just a lie.
The climate is not changing.
The climate is changing, but there's nothing like global warming or the nature of the how the world works. magnetic inaitwaje, these magnetic points will shift in
The
centuries.
fields,
Unaget, the fields will shift, and that of course itakuja na it's climate change. But hii historia kuniambia ati the ozone layer is getting depleted. First of all, it started like that because I remember tukifunza shule carbon dioxide,
that's what we've been taught.
yeah, carbon dioxide inaenda to atmosphere, ina penetrate ozone layer, inacha so the sun can come down to us. Haya, hiyo information down the road ili dilute, and then they were like no, it just goes ina accumulate hapo kwa ozone layer, it creates a green gas effect, of which nilifanya. I did that content. But do you know what amount of carbon dioxide is in the atmosphere? It is less than 0.005 combined with all these industries na nini.
But how do you explain, sai tuko July, tunajua ni msimu wa baridi na kunanyesha. How do you explain okay, hizo ndizo vitu notable mimi nimenotice as a person, na hizi zingine zenye watu naona sasa on the internet, the excessive rains, the excessive drought at the same time. There's usually studies showing that the Sahara Desert was once trees grew there, but due to global warming na hizo vitu zote but how would you explain that?
So eventually hizi changes may happen during as in hii time yote, as I said, hizo magnetic fields zikishift inakuja na climate yake pia, you see. Now ukiangalia even from the ice age, there was a time the what's it called, the earth was very cold, ikaanza kukua to warm
during the ice age.
Saizi bado tunarudi to cold. Most scientists ukiuliza is the earth getting warmer ama colder, wao watakwambia it's getting colder, like the true ones, wale wamecompromisewa kama kina Neil deGrasse Tyson. That guy is compromised, you cannot tell me.
Now I want to agree with you on this factor. Wanasamanga, especially for industrialization, najua these white people hawatakangi the black people pia wa develop industrial lines, so maybe wanatry kutuambia hiyo story ya global warming ndo tusianze ma industries zetu kuemit hizo gases. Unaona history ya coal, most of these major countries wali develop their infrastructure ma industry back then using coal, and it's way cheaper, it's more efficient, hizo vitu zote. But when we now, even in Kenya, juzi tu, when the then President Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa nataka kulaunch a coal farm in Lamu, my environmentalist walikuja wakasema no to the environment, sijui nini ina deplete. Using now your reasoning, I see maybe they brainwashed us to think that we will actually maybe destroy the environment, and maybe the amount of gas being emitted is not, maybe it does destroy, but it's not enough to say that inaharibu. Sinika hapa venye tuko in this room, there's oxygen and carbon dioxide, and we're all breathing out, but at the same time we're still breathing in. As in hiyo hewa ito affect hata tukaya hapa for how long kitu hiyo. So I think it's the same thing with wao wanajaribu kutu brainwash ndio tusiendelee kudevelop as people kitu I don't.
And ukiangalia history ya carbon credits as well, that's what I call green colonization. Like imagine tunaambiwa ati Africa, please do not develop this land. UAE may buy this amount of land for their carbon, for their carbon industries. And me in my mind, I'm like, angalia kitu ina happen all over again. You guys cannot see it. Like it's happening right now, especially in all African countries. Wanaambiwa climate change. Sisi ndo tunauziwa hizi narrative zote. We are being tunaambiwa climate change na nini, because they understand one thing. When it comes to, let's say, what do you call fuel? Would you call it fossil fuel or renewable energy? What would you call it?
Which type of fuel?
Like crude oil. What would you call crude oil?
Any fossil.
Fossil, yeah.
It cannot be renewed.
Okay, so when you talk about fossil fuels, Africa ndo iko na mob. When you talk about those nini ziko na mob.
Yeah.
So at best wanaona wacha tupatie hizi analogies ndo waweze kupata an early entry into these industries. I've also done content on it because hawa watu wakikupatia do ya ku-develop such industries, they're actually not giving you money. Do you know that? Kenya high receiving even a cent. They will give you money in form of contracts. Watasema ukisa mnataka an oil refinery ya company yetu itahandle hiyo. Tutawaloan 30 billion, but 30 billion inaenda kwao.
Yeah.
In terms of contracts, and they might have overpriced, you don't know.
That is what is happening in Congo right now. Congo is inasemekananga the richest country in terms of resources in the world, but they're not stable juu ya such things. So maybe they take the minerals from the ground or wanaenda wanajuzia wanawacha in debt traps na hizo vitu zote. Apparently I heard they pay money to, they're colonized by Belgium ama ni France.
It's Belgium.
Belgium. They pay the Belgium, they pay a certain amount of money just because they were colonized. I don't know how that works. Same to countries that were colonized by France.
Francophone countries.
Yeah, but ilifikanga point wakakataa na wakachanga kulipa juu it does not make sense.
Burkina Faso ndo walikuwa wa kwanza. So unajua those 3 countries that zilianza zili overthrow their president ilikuwa Burkina Faso, Niger and another one that the army took over, especially Traore saizi ndo anajulikana wa Burkina Faso. Aliambia tu wase, you know what?
Oh, you said Traore.
Traore.
Is it the one Samora Traore?
I guess.
Okay, the one with the red nini.
Yeah, that guy mwenye I guess ako Burkina Faso. So jamaa alisema resources tuko nazo, this guy is hatulipi anything, na akaanza and immediately France wakasema ati no, wakaanza kuleta politicize and people were like this is evident. So one thing, because I like history, and the only reason nimeanza kudevelop a loving for history is because the information I go after saizi imeanza kuwa very interesting. Back in school I used to hate history. Same thing as maths. Nimesikia maths guy, but we'll get into that until a point ilifika that this is how you can teach kids maths and it will actually be interesting. So nilikuanga najaribu kufigure out why is there this kind of ideologies, especially wanaingiza Africa. The fact that the white man is so entitled to make decisions or policies for Africa. Now all of us fall in line. Hii kitu ina go back to hiyo time ya the British colonization. Ukiangalia vile walianza kuingia around in 1888 and then all through the 1890s ndo wakaanza sasa pole. Watu wanafikiria that walikuja na religion kwanza. No, the religion didn't come. Christianity didn't come to colonize us kwanza. Wao ndo walikuja wakaanza kuintegrate na the local na the natives for a while, wakipanga strategy because the natives walikuwa wanafanya barter trade. Wacha tuchukue mang'ombe zenu, mtu facilitate kila kitu, sisi tutaka hapa, of which we were good with it up until sasa wakaanza kuleta not religion, wakaanza kuleta guns, because now once they had guns at around hapo kutoka 1905 to 1910 ndo sasa the natives wakaanza kuona this side of the white man, because sasa watu walikuwa wanaenda kuitisha do yao, nimekuzia ng'ombe zangu, nimekuzia my harvests, I need money back. Unashikiwa gani hivi, unaambia ni aje, not only are we not paying you but you need to leave this land. Hii land ni ya whites only. So what did these people do? Hawasi wako na gun, and then sasa it continued, iliendelea kuwa way more toxic, and compared to the Holocaust where I think 6 million Jews were killed.
Yeah. Was it a disease that killed them?
No. It was Hitler killing all of them.
Oh, okay.
The Holocaust.
But they had a different ideology.
It was that massacre. It's like what's going on in Palestine right now.
There's an equivalent to Corona that happened kitambo.
It was the Black Plague.
Okay, but I'm confusing the two. Okay.
So, he Holocaust had 6 million Jews killed. Or so they say. But Africans, bro, were killed in the millions. Zaidi ya hiyo, you're talking about even 100 million. Tukiangalia the damage King Leopoldo did, tukiangalia what the Belgians did, tukiangalia what the French did, what the Italians did. Like combined, British, bro, Africans have suffered. They are the only race that may suffer that much. And we're not even talking about the slaves that walikuwa wame exportiwa to those other countries. From Africa, that is.
Cotton, yeah.
So, ukiangalia, sisi we are always told, forgive and forget. Kwanza, I did the other day, nilifanya, the latest content I did, ilikuwa imetitleiwa The British Gulag. Guys walikuwa wamejam kwa comment section. Unaweza enda uangalie the fact that people wameanza kuja to the realization that by the way, Africans hawafunzwangu history yao sana. Wanaambiwangwa tu, the white man tells you, just forget, we will start a new leaf or flip a new table. That's the idea wanakuja now. And most of the time they put an African there. You get these Africans now walikuwa naitwa loyalist or home guards your time, yeah?
The puppets.
Yeah, in a way that you push our ideology, sisi tunakujenga hii side ingine. That's why ukiangalia hata kwa history ya finance bill, kuna content nda drop leo ama kesho that sasa ita connect everything together, because what does kitu inafanya hii kitu yote happen ni kitu inaitwa World Economic Forum. You have heard of them. World Economic Forum, they're connected to World Bank and they're connected to bado IMF. Most of the people in World Economic Forums, they are powerful CEOs. Hiyo meeting inattendiwa na over 50 heads of state a year and like powerful billionaires. So however much they cannot make decisions, they can definitely influence them. Because wako kwa story ya banks, wako kwa story ya climate change, wao ndo wanasema hivi. Have you heard that narrative, you will own nothing but you will be happy? Umesikia kitu kama hiyo?
I just know it's just control the situation but put you more in debt. It's I think almost the same thing. Unapata as much as let's say kuna hizi policies zinatuambia you will become now debt free and hizi vitu zote, but when you look at it closely hakuna any debt free, tunaenda kuwa we're just going deeper and deeper into the same debt, but wanatumia just nice words kutu ni kama hizo za trees nini, as much as unapata wanasema you will plant trees sijui for the environment, carbon credits nini, but unapata it's a government that is catering for hizo trees, so mnapewa trees lakini mtazilipia in one way or the other, so unapata it's still more debt at the same time.
Now look